Hi again. So today I'm in Nuneaton. It's raining a bit at the moment. I'm going to paddle through Nuneaton, see what's there. At the moment it's not looking that great, but anyway, it'll improve. It's bound to. Every paddle improves. See you on the water. So I've actually started off in Bedworth at Marsden Junction, where the Ashby Canal branches off over that way, going up to the coal fields of Ashby de la Zouch. It doesn't actually go as far as that, and never did, but there's still 18 miles of it available to navigate. And it's a really lovely canal actually. It's a contour canal, which means there's no locks. It just contours around at the same level, around about the sort of 300-foot mark, around the hills and valleys. It's really lovely. If you get a chance, you should go. That is a submerged boat, and it's all black on the inside, so it looks like it got burnt out. That's not so great, is it? Somebody's pride and joy. Oh, this is an interesting boat. Yeah, I love that. Pirates, I reckon. Definitely pirates. You got the right idea, haven't you? Well, I've got ideas. Good morning. Might get a bit of rain soon, eh? Good morning. So I've just gone under Bridge 16. On the Coventry Canal. This goes all a long way north up to Birmingham, and down south straight into the centre of Coventry. I paddled that a few weeks ago. It's a lovely paddle. But I'm going to be going through to about Bridge 23-ish today, so I've got a few bridges to go yet. And Bridge 17. It's obviously been replaced. There must have been a bridge here at one time, because it's got no A or B on it. It just says Bridge 17. All the replacements, all the new bridges, the railway bridges, etc., have got A, B or C. Good morning. How you doing? Not too bad. Yeah, rather than change all the bridge numbers whenever they create a new bridge, they just call it A, B or C. Or further if there's lots of bridges. Kind of makes sense. Logistics. Renus Logistics. There's a lot of building work going on around here. Around this part of the country, certainly. Interestingly, this part of the country really is known for logistics now. It's the place where there are just hundreds of warehouses, distribution centres, loads of trucks coming out. I had it explained to me a while ago by somebody who's heavily into logistics that the reason for that is because it's dead centre of the country. Because of that, it means when goods come into our ports, they take them straight to the centre of the country, and then after that they can kind of branch out to anywhere at the same sort of cost, really. So it makes it easier to work out how much it's going to cost, because everywhere's kind of the same distance or closer distances, you know, to an average. So yeah, everything's logistics around here now. I'm finding a lot of debris in the water. Bits of wood, sticks and stuff. I can only think there's been quite a bit of tree work done or something, reeds and things, and they've ended up in the cut, as it's called, in the canal. This looks like a winding hole here. Now, a winding hole is where narrowboats turn around. It's called winding. In fact, it's a really old-fashioned word, wind. It means to turn, and the turn of the wind, and winding is to turn. But yeah, so that's a winding hole for the longboats to turn around. These are very nice. Got the little gardens going all the way down to the canal. I'd quite like that. I think that would be good. Bridge 18B, the new bridge. Good morning. So that was a solar powered boat. I'm seeing more and more of those. I think that's a great thing actually, especially if you're following one, because they get a bit diesel smelly when you're following them on a paddleboard or a kayak. I generally have to overtake them. But yeah, if they're powered by the sun, that's got to be a good thing. Bridge 19. Okay, so I'm getting into Nuneaton proper now from the outskirts. So what's Nuneaton all about then? Okay, well, in the Domesday Book, it goes back as far as the Domesday Book, it was recorded as a farmstead. There were around about 150 people lived here, and it was called Eton, or Etone, or Etona, for the purpose of taxes. Obviously that was what the Domesday Book was for, really. Now, it became Nuneaton when a nunnery opened in around about the sort of 1200s. So that's why it's Nuneaton. Now, later than that, in the 1600s, it became quite famous for making, for weaving silk into ribbons, and that process was refined greatly by French immigrants that came over. Huguenots came over from France and refined the technique, and they started weaving at home. But when I say at home, it was a proper business, and the houses that they lived in were called top shops. They were called top shops because the top story of the house had lots of glass windows, and they worked up there so that they could work from dawn to dusk, weaving, getting the light. So that was the weaving. Now, because it was very good quality, it was very expensive. So the government of the day decided we needed cheaper ribbon. So they passed an act to allow cheaper ribbon to come into the country. from abroad, which pretty much scuppered the weaving industry, and it literally died out overnight as soon as they passed that act. They sort of ruined life for the Nuneatoners. Good morning. Yeah, good. So I've just passed under a railway line. That is the Coventry line. It comes up and through here. Oh, look out, there's a bucket. It comes up and round here, through here, going north from Coventry. And I'll let this boat go through first. How you doing, matey? Starline boats, bridge repair, boat repairs. It's nice, isn't it? I guess if you've got a boat, now and again you've got to have it hauled out of the water. The bottom's got to be painted black and checked. Make sure it's not rusting away. Repainted in the lovely paint jobs that they have. Got to be inspected, welded, all sorts. It's all business. Morning there. There's another hire boat. Plenty of hire boats out. Mind you, it's the time of year for it. This is when they make their money. There's nothing round the corner behind me. There's nothing round the corner behind me. Nothing. Nah, you're clear, mate.
Thank you.
Have a great holiday.
Thank you.
More allotments. Lots of allotments. Nuneaton's didn't know it's famous for its allotments. Hello Swan, you're a young one. So following the demise of the weaving industry, the economy collapsed and it gradually grew up again around things like brick making. There were a lot of quarries around here for bricks, for tiles. It also became quite famous for making hats as well, the millinery trade and men's hats. But then what happened was the manor house around here was owned, Arbory Hall it's called, and the lands of Arbory were owned by a wonderfully named guy called Roger Newdigate. Love that name. Now he had some coal mines on his land and he needed to get that coal out. So for a start, one of the things he did was he heavily financed the tollgate road through to Coventry, but he also had some private canals on his land to move the coal as far as the tollgate road. So he was a great proponent of building the Coventry Canal. And the Coventry Canal, the one I'm on now, in 1760, that came to Nuneaton, came through Nuneaton and started taking his coal away, which he thought was absolutely great. Unfortunately, it went up to Stafford, and the coal from Stafford undercut him somewhat and put him out of business pretty much. Good morning. Is it still morning? I suppose it is. It's afternoon now. Yeah. Speaking of Arbory Hall, the Arbory lands had various farms on them as well, and the novelist and author George Eliot grew up on one of those farms and spent her early life living around here. And the hospital in Nuneaton is George Eliot Hospital in her name, which is nice, I think. I do love that all these houses get down to the canal. I'd love that, and it being a canal as well, you're never going to get flooded by it because it can't come up any higher than this, because it's got bypass channels and weirs that go off to the side, so that it can never overflow the towpath. Ideal, really. Lovely place to live along there. Well, it's raining quite hard now, which is nice. We'll go under here for a bit. Oh. There's another winding hole there. Looks like it had a bit of a wharf next to it actually as well. One of the things I see quite a lot of this time of year with mallards, it's quite funny because if they've got young, you'll quite often get one of them will go out in front of you, hang back a bit and splash about lots, pretending it's got a broken wing or something to sort of lead the predator away from their babies. But some of them seem to go on for far too long, really. And you sort of feel bad because you're following it down a canal, it won't get out the way and it's doing its flappy thing, trying to pretend it's hurt. And they'll sometimes take half a mile before they take off and go. There's a collard dove. Hello, little collard dove. Huh. And this one is 22A, which is the railway bridge that goes through to Birmingham. Hello, matey.
I see today. I think I could do one of them with an engine on it.
Yeah, oh yeah. Cost you more for the licence then. No worries, mate. I'm around it. No, that's all right. Go on. I'll see it. No worries. It's a good job you have nice bright ones. I can see them then. So Nuneaton now making its money from logistics. It's also quite a big satellite, what do they call them, dormitory town for businesses at Coventry and businesses most certainly in Birmingham. And there are 100,000 people living in and around Nuneaton, which actually makes it the largest town in Warwickshire. I bet most of the people that live in Nuneaton don't know that. Good morning. Afternoon actually, isn't it? I've been on here too long. These buddleia bushes are quite impressive actually. The butterfly bush all seem to be purple. You never see any white ones nowadays. I thought the white ones were the most common ones. That looks like a disused railway bridge above me there. At least if it's not disused, it can't be heavily used. Seems to be a lot of weeds on it. Afternoon. Yeah, good. Knackered, but good. Wonder what that little hut was. Yeah. No, definitely disused. It's got gates on it. How interesting. So I'm just coming out of Nuneaton now. There's a big truck going over the top. There are still some quite big quarries around here actually. Whether it's something to do with that, I don't know. So that was Nuneaton. That was quite a nice paddle. I quite enjoyed that. Had a free afternoon, thought I'd come out. The rain hasn't stopped though. Now I've got to paddle back. Anyway, hope you enjoyed that. I really did. So like, subscribe, stay tuned, and happy paddling.